everybody. Welcome to Game On Summit organized by Megasphere. I'm super excited to be moderating this panel with the esteemed panel of speakers. Let's have a quick round of intro. We have Jen from Jen. Hi, Jen. Welcome to the show. And Nicole and Weilei. Let's have a quick round of introduction first. Jen, over to you, please.
Thank you so much, Sonny, and hello, everyone. Hello to the panelists as well, Nicole and Weilei. My name is Jen Buakaew, full name, but people know me as Crypto Jen. So I've been in crypto industry for the last 6 years, and currently I am a BD director for a Singaporean fintech company called Probe Group. And I also am the founder of a blockchain growth accelerator called To The Moon Lab. So it's a pleasure to be here, and I would like to discuss, can't wait to talk to you guys about NFT and all the gaming and the ecosystem. Thanks for having me, Sonny.
Thank you, Jen. Sorry, I just forgot to mention today's topic is about building NFT marketplaces and ecosystem NFT. So that's the topic, and we're going to have a lot of fun, a lot of insights coming from all of you today. Thank you, Jen, for that introduction. Moving on, I have Nicole. Hi, Nicole. Welcome to the show. How are you today?
Hi, Sonny. Hi, Jen and Wei. And thank you very much for this opportunity. So my name is Nicole. I'm based out of Vietnam right now. So I have been in the blockchain space since 2016. Have been mostly involved with the community in APAC and also in Southeast Asia. So before this, back in 2018, I headed a blockchain media from Bangkok called Asia Blockchain Review. So we had quite a bit of fun, back at that time, hosting meetup, and conferences and meeting people. And in the past 2 years, life has got to be a bit more depressing for our crypto people. But I think, still life goes on. So it has been more crazy than ever. So before this, I was the head of international marketing at Toko Crypto. And they also launched TKO Token, which is the 19th project launched on Binance Launchpad. And in the past couple of months, I have joined this, new NFT card game project called Duellist. So we are advocating for a more sustainable future for gaming that we call play to win and win to earn instead of play to earn. So we'll be very happy to kind of, discuss and compare notes with everyone about the latest trends in the ecosystem.
Perfect. Wow, that sounds exciting. And welcome to the show. Thank you, Nicole, for that introduction. Last but not least, I have my speaker, Weilei from Flow Blockchain. Hi, Weilei. How are you today?
Good. Hello, everyone. Hi, Sonny. Hi, Jen. Hi, Nicole. Pleasure to join this great panel. So I guess a quick intro from my side. I'm currently leading the marketing and community for the Flow ecosystem. Helping across different, segments, ecosystem partner support to make sure they have a successful launch and momentum behind them when they join the ecosystem, in addition to community growth across the globe. As people probably would know, Flow from the NBA Top Shot sensation that launched late last year and became the fastest growing marketplace around the world, right, generating nearly $1 billion in volume in less than 6 months. And also demonstrated how crypto can cross to the mainstream audience if you can develop, and offer a smooth experience. But again, Flow is an open ecosystem. We're having probably 50+ projects going live now across some of the global brand names like MotoGP, Olympics, CNN, Chicago Bulls, and even more, right? So super happy to share my experience today. Prior to Flow, I was the head of developer relations at another crypto project called The Streamer, which was building a decentralized data layer network to democratize data access, but also create more open data infrastructures, right? For what we are seeing, the most siloed approach becoming, an issue for the broader community around the world. So thank you again for inviting me, and super excited to chat.
Wow, that's intro. Thank you, Weilei, for joining us today to discuss about NFT marketplaces and ecosystem NFT. Lot is happening in the space, as we know, as we read, as we hear, right? NFTs have exploded. I feel like it's one of those ICO craze days, you know, when back in 2016, when ICOs exploded and everybody was doing an ICO initial coin offering. I feel the same kind of trend, but NFTs are totally different from ICOs. So let's just have a sort of discussion about what these NFTs are. Let's just discuss, like, what's the fundamentals? What is an NFT? How would you explain what is an NFT to anyone who is interested to sort of take part in either collecting, investing, or understanding what this digital asset class is? So just let's start with our first speaker, Jen. Jen, over to you. How would you explain what is NFT to anyone?
Thank you. That's a good question. Good starter, right? So how would I explain the meaning of NFT to someone or anyone? So as you know, that on a smart contract platform, for example, Ethereum, you can basically tokenize literally anything you want. This includes media such as pictures, music, virtual games, land, and beyond. Now, when we tokenize these items on, for example, Ethereum blockchain, the result is what we call a non-fungible token, or NFT. Now, these digital assets are tradable and provable representations of their underlying media, whatever it may be. So that's basically the layman of what NFT is all about. Over to you, Sonny.
Thank you. Nicely explained. Nicely explained. Moving on from Jen, I have Nicole. Nicole, how would you explain what is NFT to? So somebody who is in the crypto world already, probably they understand the difference between a fungible token and non-fungible token. I would like to know from you, how would you explain to, because NFTs are associated with art, music, artists, how would you explain to them who are not from the blockchain or crypto space in simple words? Nicole?
I think, yeah, Jen did a very great job with, giving like a kind of a concept, a basic concept for NFT. So I think for me, especially the newbies, I think NFT is more like a cryptographic, I would say, representation or digital representation of a certain asset that that you think you can bring value to the society. I think the latter part is more important. We can just literally tokenize everything, but if it doesn't add on any value, to the users or to your target audience, I think that would not make any sense at all. So I think with NFTs, the beauty of it is basically, of course, it kind of remove all of the intermediaries between you and your audience. So let's say if we're talking about artists, if we're talking about musicians, if we're talking about creators, basically there's no kind of barrier in between them in terms of, I would say, physical border, in terms of, I would say, resources, in terms of even like the censorship. It opens up like another, I think the metaverse is definitely, what's trending these days, but it's like a different world. It's even beyond or bigger than the world that we are living in right now. So I think this is also the reason why a lot of people are so fascinated with this concept. And basically, it can evolve, it can open up so that more people can participate in, not only as creator, but also as user, trader, collector, investor. So yeah, basically that's what I think about NFT.
Wow. Nicely explained, Nicole. Thanks for that. Moving on, we have Weilei. Hi. Same question. How would you explain NFTs?
Amazing how Jen and Nicole cover the majority of it. But maybe I can come up with a fun facts instead. So Dit Shirley, which is like the chief architect for the Flow blockchain, he was actually the original author for the ERC 721, which is the kind of a most used NFT standard on Ethereum, right? Like we actually created that the NFT standard back in 2017 when Dapper Labs launched the CryptoKitties project. So has been interesting to see how much has evolved since the early days, right? Of what was envisioned like a different way to approach crypto, that was more than just like, the fungible token at that point, which was like, where all the ICO, I guess, tokens. And yeah, that's exactly like what I guess NFT non-fungible token term actually derived from, like almost like what can you attribute as a different meaning, or like a totally different approach to I guess the sameness, or like the fungibility of all the things being launched on the blockchain. And I guess like from my point of view, in addition to what Jane and Nicole mentioned, right, perfectly, is that NFT is almost like the underlying technology that allows for digital scarcity. Digital scarcity in the sense like up until now, digital asset has always been like ubiquitous, like like deflationary almost, like you could not attribute value to your digital creations until the advent of NFT. So I think like from more I guess broader vision, I almost feel like that's the underlying technology that will allow our whole digital revolution in terms like how we attribute value, right, to this context. Yeah, so that's from me.
I think you're totally right on the point there. So that's the big difference between fungible tokens, which is just like the mainstream Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the NFTs. So that's the big difference, technically speaking. All right, thank you so much for taking that first question. Very interesting. So when it comes to NFT, there are so many aspects within the NFT ecosystem, right? We have seen mostly NFT in the gaming space, music, and movies. So which is one of your most favorite, and why do you think this is going to go mainstream as compared to others? Let's just start with Jen with this question. Thank you.
That's another interesting question you've got there for us, Sonny. Thank you so much. I really love the perspective of the definition for both Weilei and also Nicole as well with regards to the definition of NFT. So thanks so much, guys. Now, for your question, what is my most favorite aspect within the NFT ecosystem, and which one that I think will go mainstream? So I must say that gaming is my most favorite aspect within the NFT ecosystem. I know people talk about like gaming, and still it is my favorite within the ecosystem. Now, blockchain games as powered by, for example, Ethereum are trailblazing towards a play-to-earn future. Now, players like you and I can play, we can earn all these assets, and we can trade them along the way where applicable, right? Now, players can also own these games, the games that we play, by using governance tokens to decide the fate of these games that they are passionate about. For a good example, guys, like Axie Infinity, which is a Pokemon-like Ethereum game where users can collect, breed, and battle the iconic Axie monsters for profit via NFT gaming assets that can be traded and sold. Now, Axie Infinity is not only the largest Ethereum game right now, it is also one of Ethereum's most used apps at the moment. And I personally do enjoy playing the game very much. So definitely gaming, I see that, this is my most favorite. And I believe that it's getting hot, but it's not going to stop here. And it's definitely going to go mainstream. So thanks for that, Sonny.
Perfect. I totally agree. I obviously we are an exchange. I see a lot of tokens approaching us for listings, and I see they all are into NFT gaming. Mostly, not all. I would say mostly into NFT gaming, followed up by music and other stuff. So moving on from Jen, Nicole, what do you see? What do you see going to go mainstream, and which is your favorite?
I do agree with Jen that, with NFT, gamification has reached another level. So, right now it's not just about like us playing like with the cuties on our phone, but definitely, there's so much more to it, the incentives the ownership of the ecosystem, of the platform that is behind that. And I think that one of the thing that I like about this NFT trend is that it's not just like a trend, like, I mean, as you mentioned, like with the ICO craze, but it's going to be like something down the road, something that we will talk about maybe in the next years or so, because right now we've been able to touch on the more mainstream audience, and also like a bigger, I would say, let's say the social economy that has always been, kind of not tapped in. So I think that's also like the social tokens is definitely one of the things that I really like about this and this trend. The second thing, I think it's going to be maybe further, I would say in the future, but I think right now, before we are talking about blockchain as an underlying technology. And right now, I think that with this NFT, as Wei mentioned, with this NFT as the underlying technology, we would be able to integrate a lot of other types of, technology, like even with AR and VR, just to give this multi-dimensional experience for the users, or not only for the gamers, but also like, for the fans, for the people who participate in this ecosystem. And from here on, I would say that it provides this nice crossover between the physical and the digital world. But basically, you can still like, grasp the best of both worlds. So basically having the benefits of both models. And I think that's really interesting, and also like very, I would say, promising and prominent for NFT to strive in the future.
Wow, that's again very nicely explained. Social tokens, I totally agree. I mean, the aspects of fans. I have a project where, so they are bringing movies on NFTs. So what happens? So these movie stars have a big fan following. So these fans obviously are one movie star to millions of fans, right? So it's difficult for a movie star to be reached out by all these millions of fans. And sometimes when they are just on Instagram and they are following the movie star, but it's difficult for a movie star to go reach out to each and every of his fan. But with NFT, it's the other way around. The fan is doing something. He's creating an NFT for his favorite movie star, and that sort of switches switch over the game altogether, right? So it's the fan moment now. The fan here is in the limelight. So great, and I totally agree to physical and digital combination, like an art, like so you can buy a digital piece of art, but obviously it's back to a physical art as well, actual art. And I have seen projects, they have coming up with ideas of shipping out this digital form of art after this digital art is obviously been sort of taken care of. Rightly said and nicely explained. Thank you, Nicole, for those insights. Moving on, I'd like to hear it from Weilei. What are his thoughts, and which is going to go mainstream as for you?
It's interesting, right? Like I totally agree. Like blockchain gaming is going to be a very hot area for probably in the coming years, and I might be a little biased, but I feel like gaming probably has the highest chance of bringing, crypto, especially NFT, to the next level of consumer adoption. Primarily because we have been like, we noticed like, across each of those kind of paradigm shifts in terms like, technology adoption or new platform coming out, right? Gaming has always played a vital role, whether it was like, the early days of PC gaming, or like, Farmville for like the social media, right? Advent, or like, Angry Bird, Candy Crush for like, the mobile. Is like, there's always like, by crossing the chasm, it's always less about the technology kind of early adopters, the early hobbies, to more like mainstream, right? Like when was your, relatives or your friends, talking about like, for example, a mobile phone, right? Like a smartphone. It's probably when they realize how cool those applications or games were on top of it, right? Like, so I definitely agree on that side. What I think is super cool about NFT is very community driven in almost like a healthier way than what the fungible token were back then, 2017 or 2018, was like, the communities with NFTs revolving about the creator, I guess like almost like an intrinsic value of like why you feel connected to the community and how you can engage with each other with like a common interest, whether it's like a gaming, sports, fan, or like media, right? Like we have seen, for example, on Flow alone, like how many of the different use cases, right? Going from, let's say, of course, gaming, but also like sports collectible, the NBA Top Shot showed, but also we have seen like, across soccer and other sport leagues, we have seen like even like comedy, or shows like a platform coming soon where they actually want to, allow users to collect almost like the best and most legendary jokes, right, about a comedian, which, for example, Ron Chen, I would love to collect some of his, moments one day, and that I would do it more because I have so much fun watching his comedy show, or like because I feel related, less about the purely speculated that will always happen, right? Like regardless in crypto. So it is those experiences I think that will go mainstream, right? Like it's like fan coming together, or like communities, and they have fun first of all, and then they feel like they belong to a community. And third things, like because the digital scarcity allows you to check the ownership of it, right? Like then we have seen like experiments coming up, right, with the Bored Apes, like as club, but also like with the NBA Top Shot, where the community actually creates their own subgroup. It's like, hey, you own this moment, you can gain access to this Discord because we are all fan of this team, of this player, of this like artist, right? So it is this proliferation of community-driven engagement that I think I would love, like to see actually taking like a mainstream hold, because people are already doing that, but just like they have not been empowered with the right tools to do at the scale, especially like cross-border and global scale. So yeah, that's I think what excites me the most.
Totally agree. Community engagement. Obviously, we have seen community building from ICO days, but with NFT, it's a game changer. And the examples you gave, Discord and the Clubhouse, and I use Discord every day. Like we are on Discord as well, so it's so like it's a game changer, absolutely. But the community engages itself, within the different groups we have. So yes, I think NFT is a solution. Finally, we are getting there, and the industry looks good, and the future looks bright. And yes, and moving on this panel, I have a technical question now for you guys. So, talking about NFTs, so what are the most common ERC standards used for NFTs, and how are they different? Like the tokens, ERC tokens. So what are the most common ERC standards used for NFTs? For example, I want to buy an NFT, I go to auction page. So what are the mostly used ERC standards to take part in an auction, for instance, and how are they different? With you?
So you want me to start first, right, Sonny?
Yes, please.
Okay, so technical question. I try my best, okay? So non-fungible tokens have initially been created as particular token standards to support the use of blockchain in computer games, which includes the Ethereum ERC 721 standard for the acclaimed CryptoKitties. And the more recent, we also have the ERC 1155 standard. Now, ERC 721 was first standard for representing non-fungible digital asset on the Ethereum blockchain, whereas the ERC 1155 standard offers semi-fungibility and also provides an extended set of ERC 721 functionality. This means that ERC 721 can be built using ERC 1155. Now, the difference is that unlike ERC 721, where the unique identifier, which represents one asset, now the unique identifier of the ERC 1155 standard actually represents a whole class of fungible assets, any number of which the user can transfer from one to another. Okay, Now, there's another standard, which is component-based standard, and it's called ERC, I think 998 standard. This is a template according to which NFTs can be either non-fungible or fungible assets, okay? Now, most of these NFT activity is traditionally taking place on the Ethereum blockchain, but there are other NFT solutions that also start to emerge in the market as well. For example, there's a project called Be Good Project. Now, this project is run by the Mythical Games team and is focused on providing multifunctional standard for several blockchains, starting with EOS, okay? There are other solutions as well, like the Cosmos project, which is developing an NFTs module that can be used as part of the Cosmos SDK in the Flow blockchain created by CryptoKitties team. Cadence programming language presents each NFT as an object that users store in their accounts. It has strong ownership rules provided by the type system. I'm not going to go further, but on top of that, there are blockchains like Bitcoin Cash, Neo, Tron, Wax, and I think Tezos as well that have also got the token standards supporting the NFT ecosystem, and they've got different standards that can determine different usage as well. So that's, I hope, as technical as much as I can do, okay?
Yes, because very important, because I have projects coming to me with the NFT, like they designed an NFT, but they do not know which blockchain to choose and why. So it's very, very informative, I would say, that you've explained that ERC obviously is the number one, but there are other blockchains as well. Cosmos, EOS, you just gave some names. Thank you so much. Nicole, your insights?
I am actually very bad with standards and number. And I think it's better not to embarrass myself further, you know, by mixing up all of the number and standards. But I think one of the, I would like to look at this question from another angle. So I think that, of course, I mean, we've got like so much progress with the, let's say, the ecosystem and different kind of solutions. But honestly, whenever it comes to, like, let's say a newbie or let's say a new project, if they want to develop an active NFT project, it's easy to get lost in this whole plethora, you know, of, I would say, solutions, blockchain platforms. I would say even with the on-ramp and off-ramp, that's another headache that we are trying to solve, especially if you want to onboard like mainstream users. So I think that with the standard, of course, we can get, you know, we can go as deep and intense as what Jen did, you know, with breaking down all of the platforms. That would be great. But other than that, I think that with a lot of the current layer 2 projects, there has been a lot of like progress that we can just, you know, use these layer 2 and also kind of tap in the ecosystem that they've already got. The key question is, of course, what kind of feature, what kind of attributes you want to build with your NFTs and how they match with the, let's say, with the different kind of values that different blockchains bring. And I would like to add on, like, one thing is that, of course, the at the moment, I think the cross-chain and multi-chain, I think the layer would be very important for us to kind of, I mean, not put the whole ecosystem in silos again, like in the physical world. So right now, if we are talking about blockchain, about compatibility, about, you know, kind of interconnection, like among all of the blockchains, it's very important just to kind of break that kind of silos and boundaries from one blockchain to another. So that might be another component that we would need to look in, you know, if we want to build like an NFT project. I'm sorry, I cannot go as technical as Jen, but that's something that from a, let's say, from a block, from a project developer side, that's something that I would look for.
No, absolutely, absolutely. Nicely explained. Thank you, Nicole, for your inputs as well. Coming over to Flow blockchain. Weilei, what are you going to add on?
Yeah. So I would say, like, you know, when it comes to other ecosystem, probably you know, outside of Flow blockchain, of course, like Ethereum probably is what I'm most aware. And to be honest, like, you know, following up what Nicole just mentioned, like standard, like like if you are building an application that really targets the mainstream consumers, right, and not just like the crypto niche audience, standards comes like is important only to the extent of I guess support and like how spread is the integration across the ecosystem. You end user will not care if which standard you're using, right? As long as they believe it is an NFT that's widely adopted, right? NFT standard. So for example, 721 that I mentioned earlier, that actually our chief architect developer is still probably one the most widely adopted standard across all the platforms. So if you are completing new project, probably like that might be safer route to go. Just because of how all the top project has been, right? Like using that one even today. On Flow blockchain, actually we took almost like a set, like after learning everything we could from the NFT ecosystem that we have also built right on Ethereum. On Flow, like we almost like took a different approach on how we saw like NFT, right? And I think like Jen mentioned briefly, like Flow leverages like a Cadence smart contract language, which is like a resource-oriented programming language, and show what it means. Like all those NFTs are treated almost like resources in the language itself. And instead of being represented as a ledger on the smart contract, for example, person A owns NFT B, because at the end of the just like a ledger counting, on Flow, actually, NFT are resources that people own in their own wallet.
Right.
So, and you can do like many interesting things.
Yeah, sure. We can probably have a different session. Sorry to cut you there. It was very interesting, but it's a little technical for those who probably not know those technicalities. And also we are running short of time. I have to let you know. I was
sorry.
But yeah, it was a very good discussion there for those who are into the NFT development space. It's very interesting for them to understand these details. Weilei, thank you so much. I have a last question because we're running short of time. I'm going to start with Weilei. Let's continue. Are you involved with any NFT ecosystem right now?
Yeah, well, yes, I guess like a lot, because that's actually what I do on a daily basis. As you all know, Flow has probably like, was built to empower, I guess, the mainstream adoption for like, I guess crypto, but a lot of it is NFT powered experiences. So I see on a daily basis like amazing new ideas, right? From music platform NFT to streaming, like gaming, to celebrities and sport leagues and art, and even like fashion, like high-end fashion brand startup actually just launched on Flow too. So we're seeing like a proliferation across each of those sectors, and is very interesting to see like all the different I guess applications or type of usage they are coming up with, and that I'll be more than happy to share more detail if anyone is interested. But yeah, I don't think like NFT is any like limited to just art or gaming anymore nowadays. Of course, NBA Top Shot proved that sports is already a set category for NFT, but across other sectors we're seeing like a really interesting applications.
Great. Thank you so much for sharing your insights and discussing with us and our viewers today. Moving on, Nicole, same question. Are you involved with any NFT ecosystem right now?
Right. So I'm obviously involved with the gaming ecosystem now. That's one thing. Another thing is that I'm also like working with this team on, let's say, more like creators kind of token, and also like creators economy concept that they're trying to push for. So it also involves with a lot of the technologies, as I mentioned before. So with AR and VR, and with some of the, I would say, some of the experiments, new experimental technology that help people to, let's say, enjoy the products or NFT in the project, and with the even with the creator. So those are some of the things, cool things that I would love to share more with you maybe later on if we have time.
Thank you, Nicole. Yes, thank you so much for sharing those details with us. Moving on, Jen, same question to you, please.
Okay, I'll be very quick on this one. I know we're running out of time. So besides playing these NFT games like Axie, Infinity, and Game On, I am also the BD director for Probe, the Singaporean fintech, heavily involved in the Chinese community for crypto and NFT community. So one of the product offerings that we do is that within it's called Haidao Wallet, one of the products that we've got, which is a crypto wallet. We also have integrated the NFT marketplace, allowing people to actually buy and sell NFT within our marketplace. And we've got like over 1 million users already on our platform. So the difference from any other NFT platforms or marketplaces out there is that our focus is on the motivation and bringing out the Oriental artworks and NFT media and things that are actually, because most of these platforms for NFT, they are usually from the Western world. So we would like to showcase the work from the Oriental artists. So that's basically the ecosystem that I am involved with currently.
Thank you. Sorry, I mean, we do not have much time. So thank you so much, Jen, Nicole, Weilei, for sharing your insights today about NFT marketplace ecosystem building. And again, thanks for your time as well. So yes, let's keep in touch and let's do some things together and take care of yourself. Bye.
Thank you so much, Sonny. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, Weilei.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.